Hello everyone and welcome back to Standards Weather Channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 10-day trend for the UK and Ireland, as well as take a quick look, firstly at Hurricane Milton, which has affected Florida, the whole of Florida, with heavy rain and extremely abnormal winds. Some areas, such as Miami Beach, did get away with avoiding the main impact of the storm. I also read about some TikToker who decided to stop in a boat, authorities and people and police told him to leave the boat, and he said he was going to be just fine there. Luckily, he survived, but who knows if that storm would have gone another way. But obviously, there has been some injuries and probably some deaths as well. I think there was 2 deaths. Sky News confirmed a few hours ago now. But I'm sure, sadly, there's going to be more than that. But it was a pretty bad hurricane for the time of year, Hurricane Milton. As you can see, I've just brought up the Weather Channel to show the track of said storm. And as you can see, as it was out in the sea, it was a Category 4 hurricane with max winds of 155. Luckily, as it reached land, it did weaken to a Category 3, still with crazy winds of 120 miles an hour at the centre. Not at the centre, on the outskirts of the centre, but as soon as it got into land, it reached 105 miles an hour max winds. So it did gradually, thank goodness, calm down as it moved across. And now, Category 1, as it reached the East Coast, Cape Canaveral, or whatever it's called. I'm not very good on America. I'll improve on my geographical knowledge over this time. But as you can see, it's moved out into the North Atlantic and it keeps going westerly. And there's Storm Leslie. You can just see here is a Category 1. Tropical storm or hurricane, and that is just heading westwards as well, but this isn't anything to worry about too much. It's just a post-tropical cyclone. Leslie's just done its own thing, really. This has brought very, very heavy rainfall totals and obviously, very bad issues. So if we look at the past 24-hour precipitation, you can see the extremely high, more than 200 millimetres levels of rainfall through that band. Deltona, down to Clearwater, this place here. St. Petersburg, so I should have known that. And it's spread across here. And yeah, ridiculously high totals. So yeah, obviously I've heard that there's going to be some storm surges following on from these impacts of the storm. But yeah, I hope everyone is okay. And we're going to move on to our 10-day forecast. Just wanted to bring that up really quickly. So we're going to start where we always start, with the GFS, the 10-day to 14-day trend. We're going to start, at the moment, we have high pressure centred just to our west, low pressure just to our east, and we are bringing in a slack northwesterly flow. It's not too bad. The surface temps are slightly below average, as you'll see here. This is for Thursday, this is for today. You can see it's about 3 to 6 degrees below average. And the high eventually builds in. So we're moving to more of a westerly through Friday. Into Saturday, again, there's a slight ridge still just to our west. Low pressure is just to the northeast of the country. And we are bringing in a slack northerly wind, which is originating from around Iceland, but it's not too chilly. The -5 line does just about grace into Scotland. In fact, gets into much of Scotland, keeping it cool and possibilities of wintry showers. However, high pressure is the main theme as we move into Sunday, and gradually winds turn into more of a southerly and originate from Italy. And winds come up from the south/southwest, and now the GFS does develop this pesky low around Thursday next week, which would produce bands of heavy rain, but otherwise it's very mild. Extremely mild for the time of year. Winds continue to come up from the south. These low pressures keep out to our west, and we continue the southerly winds, southerly southwesterly winds. Heights do try to build towards Scandinavia, and it brings some very cold air for the time of year. Into parts of western Russia. Look at that, 10 degrees below average. This plunges southwards. And yeah, this would be very abnormal if this came off. But as you can see, the winds turn from more of a southerly to more of an easterly. We try to drag in those winds towards the end of the run, but they get cut off and we go more into more of a southwesterly flow. So GFS keeps it warm, high and dry, really. High pressure is dominating the weather. Unsettled interludes, especially for the northwest, into parts of the Republic and Northern Ireland. As you can see, around the 20th of October, obviously 10 days out is uncertain, but really building the heights just to our north, keeping it high and dry. This low is not showing up on other models, by the way, just this one. So it doesn't look too bad at all. And as you can see on the temp deviation, we are largely above average. I mean, look just to our north. Scandinavia, Greenland, Iceland are 10 to 12 degrees above average. This would be very abnormal for the time of year. And yeah, we just keep high pressure dominating the weather. Well, we'll move on to the GEM very swiftly then. For GEM, the Canadian model, the one I don't like, I'm a bit pessimistic about it. Again, there's that westerly. Brings more of a northerly through Sunday, in Saturday night into Sunday. Brings the -5 line in just about as far before the southwesterlies come back in. Obviously a bit unsettled still in the north. Southwesterlies approach, then turning into a southerly. Winds come up from Spain, Italy, Portugal, and we just drag up these very warm winds, really. Same sort of theme, unsettled in the west again, around day 8, day 9. Sorry, and we carry on the southwesterly southerlies. It does look way more unsettled around day 9, day 10 with this, though. This low pressure just to our west will be spinning up as the jet stream is carried just like this. Apologies about the bad drawing, but this black line here is the jet stream, similar pattern, and this is holding this low pressure just to our west, bringing in bouts of heavy rain, especially for Ireland. But again, warm air aloft, so temperatures probably between 16 and 19 degrees for much of the country. Finally, the ECMWF just come out, only goes in 24-hour interludes. That northerly on Saturday, Friday doesn't look awful. Sunday, ridge builds in. Could be quite cold night with some frost, especially in the north. Frost and fog. And then high pressure begins to take over. Southwesterly winds take over. Southerlies, a bit more unsettled around the 17th. More of a westerly pattern. Northwesterly for Scotland. And the westerlies continue, so slightly different with the ECM today. Starts the southerlies coming up from Spain in a very warm direction. And then it's still quite dry, apart from in the north, where these lows just to our north will be rattling in. Could be bringing in spells of wet rain and wet weather. And then high pressure is settled just to our south, and we're bringing in more of a westerly. But temperatures are still, yet again, above average. More unsettled in the north. And just look at our cold pool to the north, how it's building very quickly for the time of year. -10 to -15 are building up. This is quite normal for the time of year, but as you can see, it was more centred northwards, and now it's moving closer, moving further southwards. Again, not going to impact us. Just wanted to bring up the UK Met, which does look slightly different again, but as you can see, the high is situated in a much different position. It is not up here like the GFS was showing, just to our north towards Scandinavia, bringing up these very warm southerly winds. It keeps the low pressures in off the Atlantic, and it's a very mild southwesterly wind. So they're all similar, but will it be high and dry? I'll have to wait and see in the next coming days. So we'll just look at Birmingham for the data. As you can see, largely above average, reaching the 10-degree ice firm point, but gradually drifting down, and obviously becoming a bit more cooler around the 22nd of October as high pressure can't sustain for that long, especially not in our current climate. It becomes a lot wetter, as you'll see on this chart. More precipitation spikes appearing. Around the 17th and 18th, it does look a little bit more unsettled than the GFS was showing. It might have been correct with the trend of unsettled conditions. Just the positioning is obviously uncertain, being 6 days away, 7 days away. But does look like it will eventually return towards average, still staying slightly above, and the unsettled theme continues, especially towards the end of the run. So what do I think? Well, I think October will be a above average month, but I will say that the synoptics for November do look very interesting and something to keep an eye on. So we'll keep you updated. I'll keep you updated with that. Just wanted to say thank you all for the support on the channel recently. We've just passed 80 subscribers. Thank you all very much. If you've come from Gav's channel, then cheers to Gav for the shout out. Much appreciated. And yeah, we'll just keep up the content. So releasing 4 videos a week is the plan. Not sure on the days yet, but I'll make a community post about it. It definitely will be on today, on Thursdays. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe if you found this video educational. And if you enjoyed my content, then please do consider leaving a like. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next weather video. Bye.